All right, you queens of quarantine and you COVID kings. I hope you crush this exam in the way that brings you the kind of joy that can only come from restocked toilet paper. As you know, we made a little magic on our second midterm. This was the iOS heavy midterm where you showed your chops in our zero to full stack programming course. And even though many of you had never taken a coding class before this, you can now throw down with API and JSON parsing skills. So specifically, we built an Olivander's Wand app that provides information on various Harry Potter spells and plays some sounds that you might hear in the movies. This is a non-commercial effort, a university exam. Obviously, you must respect copyright in anything you submit to the App Store, as well as anything you use for a commercial effort. But during the quarantine, I figured we could all use a little bit of wizardly wonder during this time of stress and angst. I hope you liked it, and I hope you did well. Now, the exam solution runs across 5 videos. It's a 2.5-hour exam, but all the videos together run less than an hour. The first one will cover setting up the table view, the second one creating the data model, accessing the API with URL sessions, and decoding the JSON. The third one handles setting up the spell view controller. The fourth one, swipe up, sounds, and animation, and shake to cast a spell. And the fifth one is the bonus that wasn't on the exam, wizardly table view animation and theme music. Let's code. So the setup is that you need to build the Olivander's Wand app. You've got information on how you can access our custom API, which is set up just for the exam. Thanks to our TA, Jimmy McDermott, for putting this together for us. And we got a bunch of sounds that you can download and leverage at this particular URL. So set up your project. It should be called Wand, and set up your table view. Create a variable named spells. It's just going to temporarily hold an array. You can put anything in there, a few spell names, make things up. We just want to use this to make sure that our table view is working. Then in viewcontroller.swift on the main storyboard, you want to add everything needed to create a table view like the one shown below. Note that the image below has a navigation item, a custom table view cell row height. Constrain your table view so that it will resize properly on all iOS devices. Call your table view applet table view, lower camel case. Use cell, capital C, as your identifier for the table view cell. Create an extension to hold any table view methods like we've learned in class. Set the cell's style to basic, and set the cell's label to Avenir Next Condensed 24. Also, do everything needed so that the table view cell and row are at a height of 60 points. And at this point, if you build and run, this is what you should see. Let's start up Xcode. Create a new Xcode project, single view app, click Next. You should call this Wand, click Next. I'm going to save mine right to the desktop. Click Create. Double-click in the title bar to expand to full screen, and we're ready to start. So for that first question, let's head over to viewcontroller.swift, and we'll add a spells variable. We'll say, right after the class declaration, var spells equal, and then in square brackets, because this is an array of strings, each of the strings in double quotes, separated by commas, we'll say Accio Ditney, Accio Firebolt, Accio Locket. You could have said anything you wanted. This is just for us to test out our table view. Now let's head over to main storyboard. And I'll position my view controller. I think I'm going to develop on an iPhone 11 Pro, but it doesn't really matter because we'll constrain things. And we're going to embed this in a navigation controller. So with the view controller clicked, I'm going to go under the editor menu, select embed in and navigation controller. Boom, the nav controller shows up to the left. Now it's table view time, so we'll click on the library icon, search for table view, click and drag the table view over, plop it right in the middle of our view controller. Let's constrain that bad boy. With the table view still selected, we're going to go down to add new constraints. We'll put 0, 0, 0, and 0 on all 4 dimensions, top, left, right, bottom. Click on add 4 constraints. We see things resized nicely. Back on the library icon, now let's drag a table view cell over and plop that right at the top of the table view. With the cell still selected, let's go over to the Attributes Inspector. We'll set the identifier to capital C, lowercase ell. Let's get into the Assistant Editor so we can create an IB outlet for this table view. So I'm going to click on viewcontroller.swift, Option click on Main Storyboard, Control drag over from the table view. I get my rubber band line. I'm going to release it just below my class definition line. Give that the name Table View, lower camel case, click Connect. Outlet created. Now I'm going to click on the X in the main storyboard, get out of Assistant Editor mode, and let's code our table view. And what do we need to remember? Delegate data source, delegate data source. So right up here in view did load, I can get rid of this comment. I don't need it. And I'll say table view dot data source equals self. Table view dot delegate equals self. Delegate data source, delegate data source. We'll go down here and we'll create an extension. The extension is going to be the name of this current view controller, which is view controller. I'll copy it, then paste it down here. Colon, and remember, table view delegate, table view data source. So if I type table view delegate, I see UI table view delegate, highlight return, comma, table view data source. I see UI table view data source. That's my other protocol that I need to adopt. Highlight it, press return, open and close curlies. Xcode asks us, Do you want to add protocol stubs? It says this because we need to have certain functions if we adopt this protocol. Stub me, Xcode. Click that fix. For number of rows in section, that's just the count of the array that acts as our data source. We'll return spells.count. By the way, some of you might have looked up here at number of rows in section and said, hey, Prof G, don't forget the return statement or you're going to get an error in Swift. But I don't see Xcode report an error. What gives? Little tip, you can skip the return in a single value function that has a return value. If there's only one statement, the compiler knows automatically, hey, there's a return value, there's only one statement, this must be what I need to return. Not the best programming practice. I would recommend putting the word return in there, but know that you can do this as of Swift 5.1. Then down here in cell for row at, we're first going to create our table view cell, so we'll say let cell equals tableview.dq reusable cell. We want to select the option with identifier for index path. Our identifier is going to be a string with the same value that we put in as the table view cell identifier, so in between double quotes, that's capital C, lowercase ell. For index path, that's lower case index path. That's the value being passed into this function call. We'll return cell in the line just below it. And what are we going to put inside of this cell? Between those two lines we just wrote, we're going to put in cell dot. Then we're going to refer to our text label. So as we start to type in text, select this text label here, press return, put in a question mark, .text for the text property, and that's going to equal our spells array, and in brackets, index path.row, that particular element in the array. Then let's head back over to main storyboard. Remember, we wanted the cell to be of style basic, so I'm going to click on cell, go over to the attributes inspector, and under style, select basic. We want to set the cell row height to 60, so with the cell selected, I'm going to go over to the size inspector, click on row height, and type in 60 here. This is not enough, though. We're going to need another function in our extension. But first, while we're over here on the main storyboard, let's go ahead and set the font for our text label. So you got to dig for that. Make sure that you're inside of the cell, inside the content view. Then you'll find the label with the little L icon next to it that says title. Click on that title guide to select it. Go over to the attributes inspector, select font. Click on the little T, we'll select custom font, set the font family to Avenir Next Condensed, and set the size to 24 points. We're done with that. Looking good. Now head back over to viewcontroller.swift. We got to add that extra function. Remember, there's a special function to adjust the height. So I'm just going to type in height down here. And yes, this one here, height for row at, is the one that I want. I'll press return and I'll just return 60. That's the same cell height that I set in the size inspector. Now I'll go ahead. I want to build and run on an iPhone 11 Pro. Here we go. Hammer time. Build succeeded. Basic table view looks great. Part A completed. Let's head on to part B.